I'm Taylor Baldwin. People will try just about anything to get healthy and strip their unwanted weight. And as I'm sure you already know, most diets do not work. However, there's a way of eating that researchers in the health and medical industry are saying not only ensures rapid weight loss, it could very well ward off disease and have a multitude of other health benefits. Fitness expert Kyle Rogers is back to shed some light on shedding fat by having your body go through ketosis. Welcome back, Kyle.
Thank you very much.
Tell us all about ketosis.
Ketosis was originally discovered in the 1920s. They were using it as a diet to aid people with epilepsy. In some instances, people no longer even needed medication. It wasn't actually made bigger until the 1990s. Ketosis is basically a low-carb diet. For most people, it's 50 grams or under, but it varies based on body weight. And the lack of glucose in the body causes ketones to be produced by you in order to create energy, which leads to higher fat oxidation by using your fat as fuel instead of carbs.
I love it. But do you still have energy if your body's going through this ketosis?
Actually, your energy levels should be higher because fat is 9 calories per gram as opposed to your carbohydrates 4. So your energy levels will be even better, as well as your respiratory function. You'll be breathing better, you'll be more athletic because the fat oxidation is higher, so you actually have more oxygen in your blood.
Okay, we pulled up a graph. Why don't you tell us what we're looking at here?
You're looking at a basic ketosis diet. That would be based on calories most likely, because the fat calories would be much larger since they're higher per volume, and then the protein's higher, the carbs are lower. Diets I write are usually a little lower in fat than that, but everybody's version varies.
I've known people that have gone on this diet too, and they eat bacon. I'm like, that doesn't seem very healthy. Now talk about this graph. What are we looking at here?
That looks like a food pyramid. That would be your water consumption. You're making sure your carbohydrates are low, then your fats would be a little higher, and the proteins being your main source of fuel at the bottom, the largest part of the pyramid.
And that's your foundation, where you're getting your energy, and it sustains your blood sugar levels.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. And it does work. We actually have someone who works here that took off 20 pounds in no time. And she said, you know, she felt really good.
Yeah, in a lot of cases where a zone diet or a calorie restricted diet aren't working for you, it could just be because you have insulin resistance, which is what is fueled by carbohydrates to work your metabolism. And because of that, those diets won't work, where if you lower those levels and you switch over to ketones, it's going to actually work for you, and it's going to help you lose that weight that you weren't able to before.
You were saying how many grams of carbs? 50?
50 grams. Now, somebody like me, I'm going to eat like 150 because I'm larger.
But what does that look like to us? What is 50 grams of carbs? How many pieces of bread is that?
An average bread would be 14 grams or so of carbs per slice.
So it's doable. I feel like it's doable.
Yeah, it is. I always make sure people still have good carbohydrates because you do need some carbs. It's important for brain function, for energy levels, for everything else. You can't just cut them all the way out. That would not be a good decision.
So some of the research that you were reading, they have found that it's helped ward off diseases like cancers. What else did you find out?
Yeah, according to the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, it helps with a multitude of problems. Not only cancer, type 2 diabetes, neurological issues, respiratory function.
Oh, that's shocking. Just taking, because what does it do? It just takes your blood sugar level down and...
Well, the elevated fat oxidation levels make your body functioning more efficiently, so your cardiovascular system's working better because you have more oxygen in your blood. Everything's flowing better, so the risk of disease is probably much lower. That's also why some people stop having headaches because of it, because they're getting that oxygen to their brain that they weren't getting before and they needed.
And too much sugar in our body is like poison. Lastly, talk about some of the negative, I don't know, input that you've seen in your research.
The largest negative side effect, people are saying it could lead to kidney disease, but there's been no actual conclusive evidence that that is true.
And why do they say that? Because
the elevated nitrogen levels caused by the increased protein consumption would seemingly be hard on the kidneys. But they had similar issues where they were saying that about cholesterol, but based on the function of the increased fat lipid or oxidation, it actually counteracts it. You metabolize the cholesterol just fine, so it doesn't harm your body at all.
Do you suggest doing this for a little bit and then maybe going back to a regular diet and kind of, or is this a way of eating all the time?
It would depend on the person. For me, I like to carb cycle. So I have 2 days a week where I elevate my carbohydrates just to keep my body from adapting to any one thing. And I can do that sustainably year round, and it keeps unwanted fat off, it keeps me healthy, it keeps me active. Some people would prefer to stay on ketosis year round. Some people want to lose the weight and just want to gradually bring their carbohydrates back up and go back to a normal lifestyle. The most important thing is that they don't just jump from one extreme to the next, because that's when you have issues with rapid weight gain.
Yeah, yep. That's the problem. They swing here, the pendulum, and it usually swings back the other way, and then you gained everything back. Well, thank you so much. Very insightful segment.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, stay healthy.